So what we have here is a BMW X1, right? The customer complaint was that the vehicle isn't starting. So came down, we did our preliminary checks. Usually make sure that battery is good, make sure everything. So we had to hook up a charger to it, as you can see outside here. And in our checks, we realized that one of the sensors, the two camshaft sensors, was missing a 12 volt. So we had to go into the fuse box there. From one fuse was blown, a 5 amp fuse. So replace the fuse. The sensor, the voltage has returned to the sensor, but the vehicle still isn't starting. Now, for BMWs and these new electronic vehicles, you must have a scan tool. So we scan for code, and we see a code here that says crankshaft inlet camshaft synchronization and camshaft inlet synchronization. So you have the crankshaft inlet camshaft synchronization and the camshaft sensor inlet synchronization, right? And then we also have one for the crankshaft, right? So the sensors are here. There's one here and there's one here. So we would have gotten our wiring diagram here, check the sensors. We checked this one here is for the signal, that's pin 29, that's for the crankshaft. Pin 11 is for the inlet camshaft, and pin 12 is for the exhaust camshaft. All of that we would have gotten on the back of the computer, and we stacked our grounds, to make sure that everything is a-okay. So when checking cam and crankshaft signal, you absolutely must use an oscilloscope. So with the oscilloscope hooked up, let me show you what we found. So with the oscilloscope connected, let me show you what we see happening. All right, foot on the brake. Let's start the scope cranking. So this is the scope. So I hope you guys saw that. So the blue trace is our crank signal. Notice it had codes for crankshaft signal, camshaft signal, those sort of variation codes. But if you look, our blue trace is our crankshaft signal, and our green and red trace is our cam intake and exhaust signals respectively. So there's no signal coming from the camshaft sensor, to the computer. So what we have to check now, we have to make sure that we have good wiring integrity. So let me show you guys a little trick that I use to see if our wiring is good when it comes to cam and crankshaft signal, when we're checking signals. Let me show you something. Now this test may not work for all sensors, but it does work for the Hall effect sensors. So let's get our scope running. I'm gonna remove our sensor, right? And then we have our drill with a magnet attached to the end of the drill. That's right. So let me show you what happens. All right. So scope is running. Now look. Let's go and spin the drill in the front of the sensor. So that's enough. So now let's stop the scope and let's check our waveform. So you see a red trace So you see we can start getting signal. And I can guarantee you with the other sensor for the exhaust, if you were to do the same, you're going to see the same signal. So wire integrity from here to the computer is good. So the problem has to be a mechanical problem within the engine. So this one has to go to the mechanics because we don't do mechanical work. All right, so our job is complete. Have a good day, guys. So what you see here is me setting up the endoscope so you guys can see a live view of the camshaft when cranked.